How is it going, guys? It's Eclipse here, and today we have the latest news from World of Tanks console. We're going to be looking at all of the update news for this week and next week, and then also what is coming out in the works in progress section. So, first things first, of course, we have had the tanks reforged, so we had the Malshan and stuff like that redone, and yeah, it's basically, they've had some buffs, you've had the average damage go up, and of course, we had the Armadillo released on Tuesday, ×2 more owners than the Arctic Hiss, so people are more enjoying the Armadillo. Personally, I don't think it's as good as the Arctic Hiss in terms of how well it performs in game, so yeah, I don't think that it's particularly overpowered. In terms of the other events within the game, we also had the massive trade-in event, so of course if you do want to actually use the trade-in event, done a couple of videos on, outlining why and why you shouldn't actually use the trade-in events, and of course go check those out at the end of this video if you are interested in seeing whether or not you should actually use it. And then, of course, String Theory, which is super useful, super good for grinding through tech tree tanks because of the win bonus. So if you get multiple wins in a row, you get like double to up to 5 times XP for the amount of wins that you get in a row. And, of course, Hellfire Pass playtest is ongoing right now, but that's gone past by the time this news video comes out. So as far as next week, we have quite a few new things. So we have the tanks reforged, so the IS4 tech tree line is buffed. Premium tanks KV4 by Krislovsky and the Vizilla KV4 have been buffed. On track to the IS4 means that you'll be able to get to the IS4 quicker. The IS4 is definitely going to be looking at being a lot better within this next update that's coming out on Tuesday next week in the morning for British and super early morning for any of you Americans. I think it usually comes out at like 4 in the morning for you guys. As far as how the IS4 performs within the game, well, it's going to be a lot better. I think, yeah, you've just basically got better armor, I believe, probably better dispersion, stuff like that, so as well as the KV4 and stuff like that, so you will just have to see how well it performs in-game when it does come out. But of course, if you do want to pick up the IS4 and you haven't got it already, then the on-track event will provide both an XP bonus and also silver discounts of up to 50% between tiers 3 and tiers 6, and then 30% off in terms of silver between tiers 7 and tiers 10. So if you do want to pick it up, it's going to be a lot cheaper. So if you've got a thing like the KV3 that you haven't actually purchased yet, then yeah, you'll be able to get a 30% discount. As far as the other events within the game, we have a Hawk 30 Earn Challenge coming out on next week on Tuesday. It will be a week-long event. It's because the end of the season is going to be during that kind of week. And then basically you'll be able to pick up this tier 8 German light tank. Trust me, the Hawk 30 is amazing within the game, and also we will be getting WWE new content, so you'll be able to get a WWE World War II T-42 tank with Macho Man skin. So yes, there'll be new WWE content, don't quite know why, but then we've got new WWE 2D and 3D commanders and SummerSlam keycards. So if you're interested in getting more WWE content, which I'm sure, as with the comments, most of you probably aren't, and yeah, so let me know what you think about the WWE content coming back into the game, and the +1 -1 matchmaker event for the weekend will be going on next week. So not this week upcoming, as of the recording of this video, not on the weekend that this is released. Now, as far as the works in progress, we have quite a bit of things to actually look through. Work in progress, we have the Halloween mode and event modes in general should possibly to be run more in the future. So we're going to be having a Halloween mode and actual event mode. So back at Christmas, if you were playing back then, basically you had that event where you had the specific event map and you could basically play the toy tank mode. It's the exact same Halloween mode. It usually is on Himmelsdorf. It's like a weird Halloween version of Himmelsdorf. So if you're interested in actually getting the tank and playing on that mode, basically usually it's the Halloween tank. So that's the Lycan. You've got things like the Goronich, and I think you've got the Minotaur, maybe that's a Halloween tank, I'm not entirely sure, but you've got various different Halloween tanks that were released, the Kaiju, and they all get like upgraded in this mode, and they've got like super speed. Some of them have various different things, and I think there's like the Wraith, I think that's a tier 8 medium tank with like spaced armor. All of those, they get like upgraded within this special event mode, and it's kind of like what World of Tanks PC get with regards to things like the Waffle being like super speed and stuff like that. So if you're interested in that, then that will be coming fairly soon. Obviously, it's just a work in progress, and Halloween is a little bit away as of the recording of this video and the release of it. But yeah, definitely an interesting one. There's also a new potential 3D commander. Pain God has a picture behind him, which is just a Minto Vimto new 3D commander. We also have Monster Hunter is being worked on, and Halloween tank Ernop. So Monster Hunter is basically that mode that we just talked about, and the Halloween tank Ernops come around every single year. Usually you get to pick one of all of the Monster Hunter Ernops, and basically what happens with that is as you're going through, it's like a traditional Ernop where you get points for winning games and stuff like that. And then over the course of it, you can then redeem your points for one of the tanks. The lower tier tanks cost less to redeem, but if you grind your way up, you can get the tier 8 tanks within it. So it's really how far you progress with the operation, and then you just pick whichever is the highest one, or whichever one of the tanks that you actually want to earn within the game. And of course, let me know which one you want to be picking if you know what the Halloween tanks are, or if any of those names earlier were something that you wanted to get. Now, as far as RNG, they didn't talk about RNG. There isn't any new information, which is unsurprising. Hopefully, we do actually get the +25, -25 like we used to. Don't really like the RNG system that's in the game, and I'm sure many of you don't either. They also spoke about Cold War World War II map debate. Their team looked into making smaller versions of Cold War maps. It is possible, but not a quick fix, as it cuts off flanks entirely. So, yeah, not sure what I think about that. To be honest, the maps weren't designed to be smaller, so I'd rather just see just them either remove it or just keep them as it is. And to be honest, if it's less work, then just keep them how they are. I don't think it's that much of a problem. But yeah, definitely wouldn't want Wargaming to try and balance smaller versions of maps that weren't designed to be smaller. But yeah, I think that's not something I'd want within the game. And then the Minto broke down the debate. I appreciate both sides of the debate, but we'll pass this feedback on. So lots of people probably don't want it, I'm guessing. And by the end of September, we will have at least 3 new maps for World War II. So that's quite big. 3 new maps coming in the end of September, so just over a month away. And the Cold War maps were designed to have True Vision enabled on them. Now, spoke about balance changes coming after the IS-4. Can't go into detail on them yet, but yeah, I think that there's going to be a fair few coming out within the next couple of months, maybe. Don't know how many they're going to go through. It'll probably be like it is currently, going down one tank line, doing a couple bits, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see what Wargaming have planned with the balance changes. Don't know what's coming on, but yeah, very, very interested to see what happens with all of that. I think could be cool. Maybe they'll do some interesting stuff with that. Maybe we'll get things like, I don't know, what's a terrible tank? Maybe like the STB-1, that'd be a good tank to actually buff. I think tanks that are less played, some of the older ones, maybe things like the Panzer 7, not necessarily an older one, but yeah, it just doesn't really work right now. The weak spots are just way too weak, to the point where every single tank that you come up against nullifies the armor because they're that bad. But yeah, definitely interesting. They briefly spoke about the new season, hopefully hoping to return to a Valor style season. We will talk about this next week. So community feedback really influenced how this season was built, so hopefully it looks good. So here are the images. Of course, we can have a look at them, but of course, let me know what you think of all of that. Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? What's your opinions? Definitely leave them in the comments, and I will try and feed that back to Minto himself, so we can get some good kind of discussion going. Here is the actual screenshot. That's the only one we have of a tank. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you all for subscribing and also just viewing the video. Thank you to the channel members, and I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, whatever you do, and the rest of your week. So thanks very much. Hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.